I'm so sorry, but I felt like being goofy. But on a serious note, I would love to welcome Anthony Taylor and Christy Buck. Thank y'all so much for joining the family. Love y'all.
Okay, family, I'm back with another one. I'm trying to be quiet a little because I'm guessing this is gonna be my recording spot from now on. Because everywhere else is loud. It's even loud in here sometimes, but that's why I'm always recording when everybody's in bed. But then I can't give y'all my real energy because I'm trying to be quiet. I don't know, it's a catch-22. I was having this deep conversation earlier and I felt like I needed to touch on this somewhat because I don't think anybody know about this and understand about mind control and it's real. When I was younger, I ain't believe in that. I was like, how can somebody control another person's mind? But that was my ignorance because I didn't understand how it worked. I didn't understand that it's not necessarily you're basically controlling your own thoughts, but the person helped plant the seed to make you start thinking the way you think. A bunch of people are in situations and not even know that they're doing certain things. You could pick up certain habits and think it's like, oh, it's me, I did it, but not necessarily. You become a product of your environment. When you're growing up, you are taking in a bunch of people's opinions and all of that. But the situation I was in was I was preached to all the time about how families first and things like that. And oh my God, it was that real for me. I was that person. I was all about that. I'm still like that. But I eventually learned that all family ain't for you. Some of your family members can be against you worse than an outsider. I am very selective on who I allow around me, my husband, and my kids. Because obviously that's my world. So if I'm allowing you to even cross the line of being in my world, I'm extremely selective to it. Like, extremely. I don't let just anybody around me or in my family. I don't. I'm extremely selective to it. Like, I honestly don't play no games when it comes down to that thing, especially because of the stuff I experienced growing up. I know how one person, it could take one person to plant a tiny little seed of doubt or whatever, and it's a wrap from there. You think you could lean on them to give you advice about certain things, and it's not always the case. It's not always the case at all. Like I was just saying about when I was growing up in my adopted house. Now, I like I said, when I was around that age and all of that, I was being fed things about how your family's supposed to be first and things like that, but they was pitting me against my own blood. Like, pitting me against my own blood, but family's supposed to be first. Last time I checked, that's a contradiction and an oxymoron. It makes no sense to me. It don't make sense to me. And as I said, now that I'm an adult, I'm able to sit back and think about it. And really, it took me years. It took me years from leaving there to even being in the seat I am right now. it's still a process of my train of thought. Like everything being shifted, it's years. Like I believe in loyalty, I really do. But we end up doing this loyalty thing to the point to where we end up hurting ourselves. I didn't even think that was possible. But I'm going to give y'all a good example because obviously some of y'all going to be all confused about it. Alright. Let's say you got a creepy ass uncle. And that uncle has been grooming you since you were yay high. But consistently is like, oh, well, we got to be loyal to each other. That whole thing. So you eventually start feeling like, yo, I can't talk about this to this person. Can't talk about that to that person. And that's you building your loyalty in the same sense you're being hurt in that process. What I'm saying with the mind control thing, that's like me feeding to you like, oh, well, you don't want to tell that person this because, I mean, you'll just be taken away from me. You don't want to leave me, do you? And I really used to sit back and be like, yo, I don't want to leave. Because it's the only house that's ever wanted me. And now I think back on, I think obviously God put me in situations to where I needed to learn from him. I needed to build who I am now. But I still have my moments where I sit back and think like, why though? Like, why? Because that situation was not the best situation for me. Obviously, I was ignorant at the time. I thought it was the best thing for me at that time. And so I got into more placements and things like that. Like after getting locked up and all of that, I started noticing that everybody else's situation is not the same as mine. Like mine went above and beyond creepy. It wasn't like a little, like, oh, you questionable. No, it was more like, wow. Like for a person to be around for one day and be able to pick that shit up. And that's happened to me multiple times. Where, like, even, like, my friends would be like, what the hell is up with these people? Like, they telling you, some of y'all who watch this will know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to keep putting them on blast, but the whole point is, y'all need to educate yourself, especially if y'all in your teenage years. Start educating yourself on this because I'm telling you, you could be manipulated so easy it's not even funny. And there's a bunch of people who's like, oh, I would never let that happen to me. You don't even know this shit's happening to you, so what are you talking about? Like, you really don't know. You don't know. You even could know is wrong, and in the same sense, you're telling yourself, well, this wouldn't happen to me if it wasn't okay. Oh, that's crazy because I wasn't even talking about the whole rape situation, but that, I guess that could fall into that, huh? I don't know. I knew certain shit was wrong, but I was going to ride with my family regardless. Didn't give a flying fuck who was going to try to come against. Like, it was what it was. And now that I'm older, I'm really thinking, like, I really be talking to my daughter, and I'm like, looking at her, and I'm like, my baby is real personable, impressionable. Like, somebody can look at her at her age and try to, like, plant the smallest seed of doubt It could be something so little. And she's like me when it comes down to thinking about things. I can overthink things. I really, a lot of people think I take their word at face value. No, I don't. I don't at all. For me, talking don't mean shit. I need to see your actions. I need to see how you are. I need to see your character. I need to see how you present yourself to certain people. You know, that type of thing. But when you that little, you ain't think about none of that. You're just like, oh, this person's nice. And my daughter's personality is, she got one of them personalities that people gravitate toward because she's so positive. That girl is so positive. I can feel like my life is ending, and she'll be like, no, Mom. Like, she'll come up with something. I don't know. She's so positive. I wanted to raise her to be that way. But I also don't want her to be naive. I don't want nobody to be able to basically mentally fuck her. I know I can't protect her from the entire world, but you damn sure I'm going to try. I'm not going to allow her to end up in the type of situations I was, oh my God, I was in some foul situations. And I'm not just talking about the whole rape ordeal. I do need to get more detail with y'all on some of that stuff. But I'm more or less talking about my living situation, period. Like, all of it. I wouldn't dare sit there and tell my daughter, well, don't say this if you don't want them to do this. Because that's what I would be told when the caseworker would be coming to do a home visit or something. You don't want to say that, do you? Because you don't want to be taken out of here. But then a day later, I'm getting beat the fuck up for no reason. And to me, it's, well, I needed that. It's so crazy. We literally can lie to ourselves to start believing what they saying in order to think everything's good, and it's not. It's not. Y'all can comment down below, ask questions. I'm willing to answer it. Or give me situations where if you think that you're going through something like that, believe me, I will let you know. So leave me questions, whatever. But I am going to get in more detail with my situation because when I was just doing this mind control conversation, it was more or less about my living situation in the whole. It wasn't me talking about the whole rape scenario. But I'm going to definitely sit down and talk about that. And I'm going to break each person down individually. I'm not going to do the story with everybody in one. I did the story a while ago, and I put them all in one. But I think I'm at the place now where I could just, just spit out each one by one. And if I can, I will just let y'all know. I can't do it at this second. Like I said, comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions and or if you feel like you're going through a situation like that. Your parents can do it too. Get the parents that shit you out, they can do it too. Like, everybody is capable of doing it. So, again, ask questions if you need to. If you need my advice, whatever. I'm willing to let me out there. So if you enjoyed that video, please give me a big thumbs up. Also, you can subscribe and you can hit that notification bell. That way you're notified every time I post a new video. I would greatly appreciate that. You can follow me on my Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. I greatly appreciate all y'all support. You subscribe, you get a shout out. Thank you so much. Deuces.